All right, we are live. All right, well, welcome to another edition of Craft Beers Gone Wild. This is episode 15. That's right, the same age Rod found out that he could actually grow a beard. So,
yeah.
All right, well, this week I went so this week was my choice, and I decided to go something a little weird, a little different, a little out of the box thinking, and I decided to go with crazy labels, because we all seen them. I mean, is that right, Rod? You go in there and you see all these different crazy labels on these beers and stuff, and as we were talking here a little earlier, that's just kind of something that really wouldn't work too well in the wine industry. But we're not talking about those wine snob guys anyways, are we?
We are not.
That's right. That's right. We got the real men, the hardy men here, the men with bottles and cans in the hand. So, yes. All right. Well, I'm Crunch Crutchbar here in Chicago, Illinois.
And Rod J out of the Cincinnati, Northern Kentucky area.
All right. All right, Rod.
Other people dropping in. So,
well, that'd be great. Love to see what they got.
Yeah.
So, I got two because, like I said, this was a Paradise Choice theme. I don't know how it was for you, but I walked in and literally I could have picked up, 13, 14 different ones for this show tonight. But I went ahead and the first one that stuck out with me was actually one that reminded me of my very first girlfriend and stuff. I got the Snaggletooth bandana. So
the Snaggletooth, huh?
That's Snaggletooth right here. Now, this is actually out of Naperville, Illinois here, which is about a 45-minute drive, a little southwest from where I am. And it is from the Solomon Oath Brewery. So, and they're out of Naperville. And this happens to be an American Indian Pale Ale, something I know the old Rodster over there likes. And it's also a 6.5 ABV. So, it comes up. It's got some punk rockers on there, which I thought was kind of cool. I mean, I know it's a little hard to see there, but yeah, right there, little
that's
punk
pretty cool if you can.
And then it kind of reminds me of back in the '80s, like in high school when the punk rock bands were out there, like the Dead Presidents.
Well, that's almost like a De Niro mohawk from Taxi Driver.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I don't know if he had the SOB shirt on, but yeah.
Yeah, that good old Bobby.
Yeah.
De Niro, one of his great roles, of course, on Taxi Driver.
Yeah.
He was a little bit, some would say maybe off, I guess you could say. But he definitely had some stuff going on there for sure.
Oh yeah. Then the one that like the Billy Idol. I think Billy Idol was kind of like big from the punk rocker thing. They had the Dead Presidents. I really don't know. Like Stray Cats were. I don't know if they were part of that or not. But yeah,
I think they started kind of, but then they broke off a little bit. So
right.
Yeah.
Right. So it really wasn't my thing. I knew some people that were in it. A couple of my friends in high school were, into that punk rock stuff. But I knew them and stuff. I just kind of hang around more the jocks than the punk rockers. But you always kind of find them interesting.
Well, we had a wide range of choice back then for sure. Compared to nowadays. Definitely, we lived through a time of independent music.
That's right. Well, this one here is a little golden. I want to say a little dark golden there. Still got some great bubbles going up through there. You can probably see those going right up through in the camera there. There's a lot of bubble action going on. The head kind of fizzed down already. But even from over here, I can still get a really good, whiff of it. Hops on this one. Yeah, definitely got that green hops in there. You're like I said, you can just. I mean, like I said, I can smell it from this far away when I was showing it up at the camera, so you can really tell it is big and bold, in your face, green, and it's like I said, it's got that little stinkiness to there. A little green stinky.
A lot of pininess to it as well.
It does have pine, but more like pine tar as opposed to pine. It's a little bit more heavier, not that like bright crisp. It's more a little heavier, dark, which I guess would, come apart like more like that color. So it'd be a little more darker right there. So, which I guess is kind of something I would expect from the beer of beers. That's what it said right there on the very tip.
The beer of beers.
Beer of beers, right there. So I would expect nothing less. So, all right, so I'm gonna give this a little tasty taste and see what I get out of my palate.
All right.
You know what? I like it. I like this a lot. This has got some really good flavor. It's almost got a little caramel flavor on my mid palate though. It literally like it went straight across my mid palate, missed my front tongue, and went straight onto my back palate back there with a. That's really good. I like that.
You have any bitterness like on the tip of the tongue or anything?
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't have bitter. I got a little sour on the sides. Oh, hold on. The bitter comes at the afterflow.
So you're getting on the back end.
Yeah, I get it all on the back end.
Yeah, okay.
But right up on the very front there, that's a really good caramel flavor. Right up on the very front, right there.
Okay.
It's like you stuck your tongue out and you had that squeeze bottle of caramel and then went right over the middle of your tongue, as opposed to just like, if you would put it like on the tip of your tongue. They went right into the middle, went right across.
Is it sad that I may know what that actually tastes like?
Yeah. It's got that dark caramel. And I really like it. Not sweet caramel.
Right.
It's just a dark honey caramel in there. Really good. It's sour, kind of bitter sour on the side, but it's got the bitterness on the background. The weight of it is good. It's not light, but yet it's not too heavy. Like 6.5, I said, right?
So it's probably like a nice medium body.
Really nice medium body. And this would pair up really well with any of your bar food, your little finger snack foods, like that. Even like those what are those little small hamburgers with what they call sliders? They go little slider type burgers. Oh yeah, not the ones from White Castle, but the ones from the bars that you get the little smaller size one. And boy,
the ones from White Castle are usually after you're done drinking.
No kidding. Yeah, but this is really, really good. I would highly recommend. Now, I normally don't recommend people to get out and go grab yourself a couple of Snaggletooth. I usually refrain my friends from doing that.
Right.
That's usually about the same time after the bar when I'm going to go to White Castle. I may grab a Snaggletooth, But as far as beer drinking, though, this Snaggletooth here, Snaggletooth bandana, that's actually very good. I'm actually going to go up on a limb on this one here. I'm going to give this a 4.4.
Oh, wow. 4.4. Yeah. That's a pretty high rating for you there.
That's really, really good. I like it. Still got that night to it, and it's still got the bubbles go. It's still in there.
Yeah. The one thing I don't see on it, like you get on some of the IPAs, is some of the lacing taking place, and I don't know.
Nope.
Because of the pour, so usually it could be. You want to usually have some of that lacing down, but it might have been maybe a little more thinner in that regard, but it sounds like a really decent drinking beer.
This is really good. I got to say kudos to the neighbors on that one there from Naperville. And it is the Solomon, Solemn, and then Oath Brewery.
Okay.
So.
Oh, 4.4. That's a respectable score for sure.
Yeah, that's really good. I like that. The Snaggletooth, I just liked it because, like I said, I saw the punk rockers on there. I saw that tooth right there. And I figured anything.
You thought your old girlfriend.
There you go. But yeah, like I said, overall, I really like this. I'm glad it came in 6-packs. So that means I got 5 more to go. So I'm going to be able to enjoy that. So I'm going to kick back and enjoy this one and let the old Rodster take over the show.
All right. So I actually went out to get another one, obviously. And you go through looking for kind of bottles or cans that talk to you, I guess, to kind of choose something like this. I haven't done before to kind of choose like a crazy type label situation or something that talks to you. But I came across this one here. And this is the Indica IPA. And
that's cool.
This is from Lost Coast Brewery. I've not had this one before. I've had their 25-year silver edition beer they had done, which is really pretty good. But this is also an IPA and also comes in at 6.5%, just like yours. IBU on this one, it says 50 on Untapped. I don't see anywhere on the bottle to verify it, though. And on Untapped, I can't always trust that because it seems like some of the information is not always correct. But Lost Coast is actually out of Eureka, California. And this one described on the bottle, India Pale Ale is a smooth, full-bodied, filtered beer. It's radically hopped to give it intense, mystical aroma, finds her hoppy place. So, as you mentioned, I do like the India Pale Ale. So we're going to give this one a shot here. See how this one actually turns out. And there's a pretty neat looking bottle cap that I'll add to the collection there. Lost Coast.
No, that's kind of neat. Yeah.
I usually collect a lot of the bottle caps to keep them around. Maybe one day I'll get one of those maps and I'll put it in there, but we'll see what happens. I should pour there.
It can be a little hard to make a sweater out of those.
Yeah. Might be really a little scratchy, more than usual.
Not going to travel far with it.
So I'll let it settle in here in the glass. So it came out with a nice large head. And that's one of the things, too. It's like I said, it depends like kind of on the pour that you kind of do on it. And I was just actually reviewing some other information where it talked about, when you pour beer, the idea is really to pour down the middle of the glass. And it talked about like how over here, a lot of times we pour down the side of the glass, but it's actually detrimental to do it that way because it doesn't release all the gases and the proteins. And they talked about like how in England when beer was created, and well, not created there, but when they started doing it over there, they poured it down the middle, and they're used to actually letting it settle and then re-pour and then letting it settle and let it re-pour. And it actually adds more, and it keeps a nice head that usually will last throughout the beer. You get like that big exposure like you're seeing here. So we'll see what happens, but just kind of screwing around.
What about the glass you're using? Yeah, what about the glass you're using?
This glass is actually one that was designed for IPAs. So it was a special made glass.
Can you back up and show us a little bit?
So
there you go.
This was actually part of a kit that I got last Christmas, but it's designed to especially be made this way. And it's got something with the base here. It's designed to hold the aromas inside, much like a snifter type glass, but it's just a little bit different. It's a taller one. It holds a little bit more, I believe. So kind of interesting look on it, which I like as well. So I kind of use this for a lot of my IPAs if I don't use a snifter. And you can see the head now starting to form some nice rockiness. I'm trying to turn it to see if you can see it that way without spilling it, but sort of get some rockiness in the glass. The head itself was a nice, pretty much billowy type white head and some good bubble action in there. Don't know if you can see any of the carbonation because of the haze, but it is a nice dark amber color. When I get a light behind it, you get a little bit of the carbonation, but it's still very hazy, but a nice golden color to it. But as far as the aroma, I mean, it comes shooting up out of the glass very nicely. I'm getting the big notes of the tropical fruits. I'm getting grapefruit. I'm getting orange. Getting like a little bit of a tangerine. Maybe like a slight pineapple type sense or mango. But it's got a great bouquet from the hops they actually use here for the flavor. And I don't think they mentioned on the bottle what hops were actually used. No, they don't have it on there. Now online, it does talk about how they do dry hop though. And it says they dry hop with Chinook, Cascade, and Columbus. So 3 of the C's that are pretty popular for IPAs.
Now, where's that made from? Where's that bottle brewed at?
Out in California. It's
California. Okay.
Eureka, California.
Oh, okay.
So they're pretty big out there, I think, as far as being a well-known brewery. And occasionally we get some of their stuff that flows through here. But that aroma, I mean, I like a beer where you don't have to really sniff hard to get it out of the glass. And this one actually just comes out. And it's not really like pungent, but it just comes out and just hits you. And it just flows right through the nose. And it's just a great smelling beer.
Yeah, that's what I got on mine. That's exactly a good point. Yeah. It wasn't an onion, but it just definitely, it filled my atmosphere, my zone. Yeah.
I mean, it's like if you were out on a nature walk and smelling some of the plants, you know, you'd be taking in those flavors. You're kind of doing that with this beer here. That's how good the hops are. Well, in the taste, wow, that's really smooth.
Wow.
Wow, this is one you could drink all day. So I get hit with some bitterness up front to the front of the tongue, but it's got a nice dry texture to it. I'm not getting any harshness going down. It's got a nice crisp break as it goes to the back. I get a good amount of flavor on the taste. I'm getting a nice, strong, medium body beer. It's not to the full body level I think that they're mentioning. For me, a full body is more along that strong, like double IPA or stout type level, but it's very close. It's getting up there. You can definitely feel it weighing on you. A lot of people probably want to drink this on a very hot type day. You want something a little more refreshing. But for me, an IPA fan, I could drink this pretty much any time of day, I think.
Right.
It gets around the mouth nice. It gets off the tongue. It gets into the cheek area. It has a nice, I want to say like a vibrancy with it. It really brings the mouth alive pretty much. It's not just drink it and gone and the flavor is lost. Definitely hanging in there for a bit. I do like it when it gets into that cheek area because it kind of gives me that like almost chewy type tendency. Carbonation, not too bad. Very palatable. Now you can see it's like some of the lacing starting to form on the glass. Like I said, by pouring like down the middle, the head is hanging in a little bit longer than like maybe where hanging on yours.
Right.
So it's a neat little trick. You learn all kinds of things about beer. The more you drink, the more you know, the more you thought you knew.
That's right. That's right. Teach me, Captain, Captain.
On the back end of it, though, at the end, when I'm left with on that flavor, is like almost like a tangerine type thing where you would bite into a tangerine and that juice would squirt. And you kind of have just that after, it's not really like a sour type taste, but you have the after flavor of the tangerine. That's kind of what you're getting on the back end when you're done. But this will be a nice one to also hook up with some spicy food. You can also hook it up with like a burger, you know, maybe some barbecue, but very decent. For me, I think it actually has a great drinkability with this one. And for a lot of people not in the IPA, they're just getting into it, the third is always the hoppiness. And I think something like this you can get into, and it won't be anything that hits you too hard like some of the other beers.
Not going to turn you off. Yeah.
Yeah. So with this one, I think you can go in, even not being a true IPA person yet, and still like this one and not get hit too hard up front on the hoppiness. That I think the drinkability on this one probably, I would put it around I'd probably put it like a 3.75 out of 5 as far as the drinkability on it. But as far as it being like an overall type beer, any type of grade or anything, I would definitely put this at least at like a B+ type rating, if not an A-. I think it's very solid, a nice introduction of a beer.
Nice.
But yeah, not even any astringency on the back end really. So
nice.
I like that one. So
yeah, that sounds like a pretty good one there. I let me see that label again, because I think I saw that one's like an elephant with arms and stuff like that.
Right. Yeah, it's like
turn it the other way. So there you go.
It's like
Yep, I did see that one.
Yeah, so this is one that, like I said, I was going down to different things, and that one was kind of like just looking at me like, pick me up. You know, get me off the bench, coach. Get me in the game. So that's the one I ended up going with, and very pleasing. So I would definitely buy it again. I would definitely drink it again for sure.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, it sounded really good. I like what you said about the drinkability. On this one here, as you were saying, if somebody was just getting into it, you know, you're talking to college students or the young 20, something that are just developing their palates, things like that, that are popping, into the beer and stuff, getting out of that Budweiser, Coors, regular system like that.
Right.
Yeah, this one here is probably not going to be as entry level more as yours would. I would probably go with yours more. This one here, I think, well, just look at it. I mean, it's a snaggle tooth. You definitely don't just jump in with a snaggle tooth. So, you got to work up to it. You got to work up into it. I think this is like one that will probably follow right after yours, because it is a little bit more heavier and a little bit more bitterness at the back end, right there, but that little caramely flavor in there. So I would think it would probably just be a tad bit behind yours, but like I said, I haven't tried yours, so I'm not 100% sure. But from your description and knowing you and knowing, and watching you and all of that throughout the time here, I kind of think this one here would just be the one I would try after I tried that indigo one that you just had. Yeah. So that's good. Well, all right. Well, I pulled into my second one right here. Now this is kind of one that I don't know much about. I'm kind of hoping you know more about it than I do. It's called the Ape Snake.
Oh, I haven't heard of that one.
It is a Prairie Artisan Ale. Okay.
Oh, I know Prairie. Prairie makes good stuff. I know that.
Okay. It is a dry hop, dark farmhouse ale.
Oh, Saison.
Okay. Right. So I've never had one of these yet, and stuff as far as from Prairie Artisan Ale. Okay, this would be my first one. I know you don't like apes either. This is going to come in at 7.9% alcohol.
Okay.
So it's 1 pint. I do not know what the ABVs are. What did I do with my? Took my can opener out of here, but that's okay. We'll improvise. There we go. Now, kind of a cool looking little design on this thing here. And you actually have to kind of spin this thing around. There's the ape right there. So it's kind of got this, funky weird looking label. Things seem to be like all out of place, but apparently that's the snake, and then that's the ape.
Yeah, they
So
always do some interesting artwork on their bottles. I know.
yeah, it's because it looks like it's a plug. It looks like a whole bunch of like the things you would find in a drawer, like the end of a screwdriver up at the top, a couple of nails, some screws, one of those olive picks, and there a little bit of a chain, an S hook from the other hook, some bolts, nuts, screwdriver, and a pen. So I don't know what all of that has to do with ape snake, but we'll surely find out.
This
All
will
right.
get snake bitten.
Yeah. So there we got the head there that Rod keeps talking about right there.
There you go.
So
You put a big one on that.
nice and dark. Oh yeah, nice and dark there on that one, right there. Almost has a. I almost smell like a cola. So I smell from here. Oh yeah, I just got like a cola.
Yeah.
Like a Coke, like a Coca-Cola smell. Definitely a little chocolatey. Got a little chocolate, a little like I said, but it definitely Coca-Cola. When I poured it, I thought it was like Coca-Cola. Is that common for
a farmhouse? No.
farmhouse
But
ale?
they may have experimented with it to do some different stuff. I mean, they are kind of, one thing is like the artwork. They're kind of known as like kind of being artists as a brewery, so they like to get a little fancy and try different things. It would surprise me to get like a cola type thing in one of their beers.
Yeah, I mean it really does. It really has a really strong Coca-Cola smell. Now, where are they out of? Let me see. I'm trying to find out here where they're out of, and I see where they're distributed. It doesn't say where they're out of. Here we go. Bottle, Oklahoma. Creebs, Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, I actually have to say this is gonna be my very first Oklahoma beer. So I have not had one from Oklahoma. So this would be good for the Cowboys out there. See how it comes on. But boy, that is frothy. Look at that head.
Did you say that's a snake 8 is called?
It's called ape snake. Ape first, then the snake.
Okay.
Yep, ape snake. You even got a little name tag right down there on the bottom right there.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
Ape snake. And then, like I said, it's got right here on the label. Right there on the label is
Ape. Okay.
so yeah. So, but man, yeah, that is dark. Like I said, almost like a stout. The way it pours out, you'd almost think it was a Guinness. It's really a thick thing, but
well, they
got
say
nice-
they took their farmhouse base and they dry hopped it with Falconer's Flight and Centennial hops.
Okay.
The combination of the yeast and hops create an explosion of flavors, and the beer actually continues to develop as it ages. So a beer like that, they're saying you could actually age in a cellar and you'll have more of a flavor experience down the line. So,
then I might just go back this weekend and pick up some more because number one, I like the aroma I'm getting off out of here. The head's starting to shrink down here a little bit, getting nice to a point there, lacing the glass. I know Mr. Rod J likes when they lace the glass like that. He's all about the lace.
I'm all about the lace.
All about the lace. About the lace. That's right.
It seems to have some mixed feedback online. Some people are digging it. Some people are saying it's not for the. It's got to be an acquired taste a little bit, maybe.
You know what?
Like you mentioned the cola thing.
Right. I mean, who wants a beer that's like a cola? But,
Because that would only make it go down easier, right?
Right. But it definitely, like I said, you definitely got a cola taste out of aroma. out of there.
Right.
You definitely, now you do smell a little bit of the hops. A little green on the back, but you know what? I'm looking for it. I'm actually looking for it. So with that in mind, you probably 90% of most people would not get it because they wouldn't be looking for it. I'm looking for it, you know, because we're doing a review. So I'm actually searching for it. I do get it, but I get it very faint. I'm very hit in the back, but I get a big cola.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, I'm going to give this a little tasty taste out of my palate and see what I come up with. But boy, I'm sure liking the way it, you know, laces that glass.
Yeah.
I kind of feel like Rod J here on the Chicago side here, checking this out. All right. Huh. You know what? You see how dark this is, and the first thing you're going to think of is like a Guinness heavy. It's not heavy.
Okay.
I'm surprised. It's not heavy on the palate at all. It doesn't weigh down. You're definitely, this is not a stout. I could be blindfolded and I can tell you right off the bat, this is not a stout.
Does it feel like more of a medium body then? Because I can't see it being light at that ABV level.
You know what? Actually, it's light. It's not even medium. It's kind of it's light. I'm surprised. It is light. You got bitterness though in the very front, and I get it up underneath the roof of my, or not the roof of my mouth, but on my up in my gums, right on the front of the gums. I get the bitterness right there.
Okay.
It's a nice bitter, and then I get a chalkiness along the sides of my of the wall of my mouth. I get chalkiness in there. Light, a little bit of bitterness. Well, actually, it's really nice. This is a good, and you don't say too much about it. This is actually a very good. I would take this and pair it with a meal. I would serve this more with a meal than I would to actually drink it by itself. Actually, drink it by itself, you would definitely, like you said, Rod, you need an acquired taste for it. But boy, you put this up with any steak, you put this up with any meat, anything that's got a little gump to it, a little gumpture, this thing's going to hold up well, and it's going to go ahead and it's going to lace it, not cover it. This is really good. I actually have a sirloin with bacon wrap that I'm going to be putting on the grill when I get done with this, and I'm actually going to pair it up with this because this is really, really good. It's light enough that you don't feel it's good for this type of weather. It's, you know, we're humid here. I don't know how it is over there with you, Rod, but you know, we've been in the low 80s, but very, very humid. We had a nice thunderstorm that came in early in the morning. It's just been soaking up that moisture all day. We had a lot of humidity around here, but it's still kind of that steamy, sticky hot. This right here, if I were to have a Guinness, that would be way too much. But with this right here, this would be a stout lover's baby. This would be a baby for anybody who likes that Guinness, anybody who likes that heavy dark beer. This is like your lighter style, more for your eating pleasurables, and then later on you would get the bigger guys for after dinner. This right here is a great one. I'm gonna go out on this one here for the quality, for the style, and for what this is. I'm gonna go 3.95 on this one. It holds me back just a little bit because of that. The cola thing just kind of like interesting, but not what I want from a beer.
Right.
And then the lightness, the lightness of the weight is kind of a little misconception of the beer itself. Other than that, I mean, actually, I would recommend it. I would recommend it to anybody who wants to have it, but have it with a dinner, have it with a meal. I don't care what meal you put it with, have it with a good meal, something with gumpture, meat, raviolis, anything, something with a little come with it. You're going to be absolutely thrilled with this one. Sitting and drinking it by itself, you might get a little disappointed unless you acquire that palate.
I wonder if it's one you can have going into fall here with like a bowl of chili or something, watching a football game.
You know what? A good September beer where it's not, how September is not too cold, but it's not too hot. You're just kind of like in that 70, 60 degree type thing. Yeah,
right.
I think you're right. Once you get into October, it gets a little colder. Then you're going to want that Guinness. You're going to want that a little heavier, you don't want that little warmth, the little pudginess around the weight, around the waist on this one. But as of right now, yeah, this still has a summer body on it. And yeah, this is definitely something that's very good. You made a good point, Rod. You made a good point. Definitely, that's what it would be. I'm thrilled with it. Like I said, I'm going to have it for my dinner. But I'm definitely, while I'm cooking, I'm going to have my snaggletooth with me. So,
thinking of old memories.
Going through the black book afterward, the old black book. But yeah, no, I'm happy with these two choices. I'm glad I made that, and I'm glad the toss of the dime, the roll of the dice for me came out with two great ones. I actually, I guess what they say, you can't judge a beer by its cover. So,
yeah, it's kind of fun to kind of pick a beer that kind of way and take a look at it. And I just had the one for the Indica,
right?
Because the last few weeks we've had so many people on here, so I just grabbed one. I almost grabbed another one. There's one that Sagitalk Brewing did, which is like it's called, I think, Sunburst Sweet, and it had a pretty cool cover on it. It's kind of almost like a Rolling Stones type tongue with this. It kind of caught my attention, but I ended up not getting it because I thought we'd have some more, so I didn't know how long.
Well, we can always pull it out again. I mean, this is always a nice little. It should always be a nice little topic and theme to put into the back pocket, or when you kind of run out of ideas and stuff,
right?
Throw it out there. Yeah, I actually like it. Like I said, I went in there and I was very surprised of how many options there were, for this theme. And there were like I said, I could have came out of there with 13, 14 different ones and stuff. I thought it was good. Maybe it wouldn't have been as good as these. Maybe I got lucky. I don't know. But I do know that I'm happy for tonight. So that's all that matters.
That's all that matters for sure.
Yeah. So, well, all right. Well, as always, we always like to have people join in on us. I know it's that end of August. Everybody's kicking in their last holiday vacation, getting ready for the kids to go back to school, all that other good, fun stuff, getting back into the regimen of life, that they like to call it. But as always, me and Mr. Rod J will be here on Thursdays for your drinking entertainment pleasure and stuff. And I am Crunch Crutchmar here in Chicago.
And Rod J here in Cincinnati, Northern Kentucky.
And as always, what is it, Rod?
Keep drinking good craft beers.
That's right. Cheers.